Good afternoon, Culés. Welcome back to the Undefeated channel. We are live for some Barcelona news on Wake Up and Barca. We're going to be discussing Barcelona's frustrating opening match for the La Liga 23-24 campaign. Some of the worst refereeing you're going to see, period. Don't care the league, don't care the country, don't care whatever. Some of the worst refereeing you're going to see. We'll be the words. I'm frazzled already. We'll be discussing that, plus Raphinha's red card, Xavi's red card, all that and more. We gotta jump over to the transfer market, discuss those rumors. Neymar has officially moved over to Saudi Arabia. João Cancelo may be coming over to Barcelona. We'll be discussing those details and more on today's episode. If you want to be part of the conversation, I welcome you. Subscribe to the channel so you can be part of that conversation, participating in the chat with your fellow culés. What we do here on the channel is we have some good conversation as we get our day going in a positive way, connect with our fellow culés. We support the badge. We support each other. That is what we do here on the channel. Make sure you drop a like, show your love and support for the channel. With that out of the way, let's kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the Undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Like I said, disappointing results for Barcelona. I think if we take a look at Xavi's face in this picture, that pretty much says it all. Raphinha, red card in the 42nd minute. Mata in the 57th minute. We're going to revisit the conversation around Raphinha's red card. We will get there. But to take a look at the stats overview, Barcelona 14 shots, only 4 on target. Got to do better than that. 75% of the possession, 729 passes, 90% accuracy. Not bad, but some of that is because we weren't being assertive enough. We weren't taking the chances, being a little bit too conservative with those passes. 11 fouls compared to 20 on the Getafe side. Could have been 50, could have been 60, could have been 100. We'll get into that in just a moment again. 6 yellow cards, could have been 15 or more for Getafe, 2 for Barcelona. The 2 reds on either side, like I said. 2 offside calls for Barcelona, 4 corners. So starting off the season mid-table. If we jump over to Barca Buzz here, he's sharing a quote, says that Barcelona have appealed Raphinha's red card and want to try to reduce the 2-match suspension. The club argues that several Getafe players provoked him exceedingly first. Moreover, referee Sotogrado mentioned that the incident occurred when the ball was not in play. Barca argue that it occurred when Raphinha went for the ball. I'm not going to say it was when he went for the ball. I will argue that the ball was in play. And I will say Getafe was antagonizing Raphinha excessively. With that said, first thought, Raphinha, you got to have better composure. You got to keep your head in the game there. You can't let Getafe get under your skin first match of the season when you know that's what they're going to be doing. Now, who knows? We'll wait and see what comes out. You never know when something is said between the players that, a la Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 World Cup final. You never know what's said, okay? So, barring something like that, Raphinha, got to keep your head, dude. Gotta keep your head. You can't put us a man down in the first match of the home opener. And this is your time to shine. Dembele leaves. He says, hey, Raphinha, I know we're going to battle for that right wing position. It's yours. And Raphinha goes, oh, fumble. So, we'll circle back to what that's going to mean for the next couple of matches in terms of opportunities for other players. But I want to first get your thoughts. Initial reactions, Raphinha's red card. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction to this? Give me your questions. Give me your comments. I'm going to turn to the chat. I'm going to say my hellos, see how we're feeling about things. Give me your thoughts on Raphinha. Also, sidebar, give me your thoughts on the new thumbnail. This is what we're going with a new template. I know I did not update my picture in the corner there. We will maybe do so here in a bit. All right, I'll say maybe later in the season, but I wanted to first get the initial template down. That's, of course, going to have updated background pictures as we go. I think that's going to give a little bit more attraction, a little bit more engagement out there on the YouTube search. We'll see. So let me know what you think about the thumbnail. Again, if you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments. Be proactive here. Don't just be a listener, all right? Engage in the conversation, be a part of the community. I invite you to do so. Turning to the chat now, seeing who got hanging out. Harry, how we doing? Says, loves the new thumbnail design. I appreciate that. Thank you, Harry. Glad to see you, sir. Says, love what you're wearing, sir. I wonder where I can get that merchandise from. You're hilarious. Appreciate the setup. Got that queued up for you. BarcaMerch.com. That is pinned in the chat. The link is available. You can go to BarcaMerch.com. Check out what we got here in the catalog. I am wearing, if we go to Barca tank tops, I've got this guy right here. Excuse me, wearing this in black. You can also get this on a tee if you'd rather have it on a tee, but got this in the tank top. The very visually enticing, the very psychedelic, the radiant, as they say, Visca Barca, available for you right now. And again, code STASHSQUAD10 gets you 10% off your whole order. Doesn't matter what you get. Whole order, 10% off. Got you covered. Greg's in the house, says, I thought the refs we had in Scotland were bad. Last night was honestly worse. Amen to that. Some of the worst refereeing you're going to see. Yeah, Raphinha off the top rope, dropping an elbow. Straight red, apparently gets a 2-match ban. Greg says, Damian Suarez elbows someone, not even a yellow card. 2, 3, 4 yellows. I mean, it was a dozen or more intentional off the ball elbows, hands to the face, just everything you can imagine in terms of under the radar fouls, under the radar antagonizing. They knew exactly what they're doing. Every time Barcelona received the ball and passed it off, as the defender closed down, when the ball has already been played off, 2-hand shove. Every single time. It's like the rule was, if somebody on Barcelona gets the ball, you have to put 2 hands on them. Whether they pass the ball off or not, you have to get 2 hands on. That seemed to be the rule. You saw when some of the smaller players like a Lamine Yamal comes on, 2-hand goes down. He's a little bit lighter. Doesn't have the physicality of a grown man quite yet. So, listen, what was it? How many yellow cards was it? Jumping back over. 6 yellow cards, 20 fouls. It should have been 50 fouls and a dozen yellow cards. Easily. They could have had 2, 3 red cards. If we would have gotten proper treatment from this referee, things would have gone very differently. If we would have been protected by this referee the way that we should have been, not asking for any special treatment, just proper protection of the players. Lewandowski getting taken down off the ball 3, 4 times in the first half. Just saying, things would have gone differently. Okay? First match of the season. We're a little bit rusty. The finishing wasn't there. All right? 90 seconds in, Gundogan had an opportunity. Could have put it in. Actually, I think that ended up being called offside. I'm going to take that one back because I think it got called offside. Same with Lewandowski. We had 2 chances, I think, in the first 10 minutes it was. That would have been offside. Didn't finish, though. So, listen. First match, a little bit of rusty. Working on the chemistry. Romeu in the midfield was baller. Loved what I was seeing from him. Frankie de Jong, probably man of the match. If we're gonna be fair about it, probably man of the match. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I want to know your thoughts on Raphinha. I want to know your thoughts on the referee. And we'll go from there. I'm going to be discussing some of the youngsters. I'm going to be discussing some of the transfer market rumors, all that and more. Again, this episode brought to you by BarcaMerch.com. Let me know what you think about the thumbnail too, folks. Now that we got Ayush in the house, hello, sir. How we doing? Says, I don't know what Abde was doing. He was just clueless and was hopeless, not even caring to move. Ayush, I don't know if I agree with you. I thought we had a little bit of spark once Abde came on. I felt like prior to him coming on is when we saw Barcelona playing very high, very flat, not a lot of movement off the ball. Not that all changed once Abde came on, but Abde, Ansu, and Yamal, I think, had more creativity, more spark than the starting 11. I would say that. Reese, how we doing, sir? Says, your shirt is messing with my eyes. Sorry. It is a little bit of an optical illusion, admittedly. Harry says, Abdi, I think, was a bit stiff last night, but he showed sparks. Reese says, Gavi. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Harry says, Getafe's manager's comments last night were quite silly. Christian Brito, welcome to the channel, my friend. Good to have you. But back to Harry's comment, says, Getafe's manager's comments last night were quite silly from him. He knows he should have been sent off along with the players and yet denies Xavi's comments. Barsamino says, don't you think Koundé was the man of the match? I'd have to give it to Frankie. I'm leaning towards Frankie. I mean, whether it was in the midfield or the back line, back and forth, Frankie was everywhere, all over the pitch, really putting the team on his shoulders, doing what he can, but he can't do it all. So I think Frankie, actually, for me, man of the match. Ayush said he did play well just for like 5 or 10 minutes, but after that, he did not even care to go to the ball. I would say fair. Starting off strong and then faded from there. Ahmed, hello, good to see you. Says, for me, the rep, come on now, that's not nice. The rep is Stevie Wonder, man of the match. Koundé, we should keep going. Yes, of course, we're going to keep going here. Ayush says, win on the thumbnail, add a new high definition picture of yourself. Yes, I'm gonna take an updated picture for this year. I was just questioning what my attire is gonna be. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep the robe going or not. We'll see. So updated picture here eventually, but for now, I'm glad that we like the template on the thumbnail. It's a start. It is a start. So listen, what else? What else do I have talking points from here? I'm also working on no good, the bad, the Barca for this one because I'm tired of that old template. I think I have the vision for the new one. The good, the bad, the Barca each will have their own screen where I'll list multiple things that were good, multiple things that were bad, multiple things that represented the badge. It opens things up a little bit so I'm not restricted to just one box. So it's going to be multiple things per category, and then we'll give out the mustache man of the match. That's what it'll look like. So we'll get there. I'm also waiting on Barcelona to update their player profiles on the website. They still got last year's kits except for the new signings. So waiting on that. Anyway. Other talking points. I talked about Barcelona being a little bit rusty. Talked about the excessive late fouls from Getafe. Credit to Romeu. I thought he had an amazing match. Pedri, magic in the midfield, but I want to see it in the final third. It's like when he gets within 5 yards of the box, he does clam up a little bit. So I want to see a little bit more magic from Pedri in that final third. I think that's important. We talked about Barcelona being very flat in the final third, collectively, particularly the starting 11. Just everybody playing a flat line, along with 5-6 defenders on that back line. It seemed like Barcelona was playing with the rule of whoever has the ball, that's one, and then there can only be one other player at a time moving off the ball. And then that basically left us with players either checking to or running in behind for a ball over the top or a short pass check to that would just immediately come right back to him. We need to have 2-3 players running at the same time, creating a little chaos, creating a little confusion, creating the opportunity for a flick on, that quick one-touch passing. That's what we're missing. We need that next level creativity in that final third. So we'll see. In terms of that final call, I don't know. In what world is that a handball? I don't know. There were 2 camera angles. One looked like it maybe touched Gavi's shoulder. The other looked like it didn't. So I'm not sure how that gets the focus. And directly after that, the clear penalty is not called. Like, for me, the handball is a wash. First of all, he's holding off the defender. The defender kicks the ball from right about here, 6 inches from his arm, deflects off of this area, somewhere here. Okay, so questionable area. There's no way, if that was flipped around, if it would have hit the defender's arm there, you're telling me That's the argument, okay? You're telling me that if that ball that hit Gavi's arm hits the defender's arm, you're telling me that's going to be a handball penalty? There's no way. There's no way we would have gotten that call. So I just don't know. I just don't know. Horrendous refereeing. I'm not looking forward to dealing with him all season. Hopefully he gets sanctioned, written up, something by the refereeing committee. Because this was insane. This was a lot. It was a lot to deal with, I'll say. Anyway, we're going to move on, okay? We're going to move on from it. A rough start to the match, but you know what? Barcelona's had some historic seasons with tremendous success that start with a little stumble out of the gates. I'll reference Pep Guardiola's first match. There's been others, but that's the one that comes to mind. So Barcelona are going to shake things off. They're going to have their first home match here Sunday, August 20th. It's going to be 1:30 p.m. here on the eastern side of the United States. Convert it for your time zone, of course. Cadiz, I think right now, looking at a live table, up 1-0 against, who are they playing? Alaves right now. So Barcelona with the chance to reclaim some points. Home opener, like I said, Sunday. We'll be doing a live watch along. I'll be here ready for action. I am going out of town. So no live, no Wake Up in Barca on Friday. I'm going to try to do a little match preview for this upcoming match against Cadiz on Wednesday. So it'll be early, but we'll get things going. I want to maintain twice a week. This year we're going with Mondays and Fridays. We'll throw in Wednesday episodes of Wake Up in Barca when there's Champions League or when there's Copa del Rey or some sort of midweek match. We'll throw that in, but for the sake of my own time and energy, and I think we get better quality shows when we're not all the time. So as you can see, upgrades coming for the Monday and Friday episodes of Wake Up in Barca. Thumbnail has gone through, we'll say, phase 1 of its upgrade. Phase 2 is going to be updating my picture on it, but you'll see now that the background images are going to update per episode. We're going to work on getting the good, the bad, the Barca updated. That's coming up. I'm going to hire somebody to do clips because I just have no interest in doing my own reaction clips and clips from these shows. I just don't have any interest. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Things are coming. And I'm eventually going to poke Ayush to just go ahead and create the Discord when he has time. Eventually. But we'll get there. We'll get there, folks. So what am I saying? Upgrades are coming. Things are happening. I appreciate you hanging out. If you are looking for the easiest way to show your love and support for this channel, dropping a like, hitting that thumbs up. And if you're watching on TikTok, swipe on over, click the link in the bio. That'll get you over to the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel. It's where you want to be. Hanging out with the coolest coolace. Speaking of the coolest coolace, we are getting back to shouting out the coolest coolace, aka the top 10 chatters. You want to be on that list, of course, you got to subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us when we're live, which is every Monday and Friday for Wake Up in Barca, plus live Barcelona matches. Like I said, this one coming up against Cadiz. Participate in the conversation. Anyway, turning to the chat, speaking of this conversation, Barcamino says the refs should go to VAR for some time. Yes. A little downgrade for this referee. I don't even know if we want him in the booth, though. Harry says, remember the name Cesar Soto. We don't want him as a referee. Oof. Yes. Anyway. Ahmed says, funny how Barcelona backline is better than Barcelona attack. Right, for right now. For right now, yes. We are still developing. I missed a chat from Ayush. Let me go up here. Ayush says, I'll get my laptop tomorrow from the repair shop. I'm completely free till the end of the month. I'll help you a bit on graphics. Okay. Ayush, message me offline because I want to make sure we are putting that effort in the right area. But I appreciate the offer. Always holding things down. Of course, my stash mods. Shout out to all 4 or 5. Ayush, Harry, Kudis, Kyle, and Steve. 5 stash mods. I was like, 4's not right. I think I have 5 now. Harry, of course, coming in as the 5th. Ovi said, I just heard Sensei commentary and then saw the highlights. The game was a mini WrestleMania. It was. It absolutely was. Raphinha off the top rope. Oh, my goodness. Since I scrolled up in the chat, I did miss quite a few comments here. Christian Brito says, regardless of it touching his chest or shoulder, he kicked Gavi in the chest and had two hands on him. We're missing that too. The defender had a two-hand grasp on Gavi as he kicks the ball into Gavi's hand. There was just so much wrong with it. So much wrong with that. Ayush says we need a Discord and a Reddit. All right, we'll get on it. We'll get on it. We are working on it. That's been a long-term goal, so we'll get there. Discord, Reddit, somebody doing clips for me, and then I'm going to do new graphics for the good, the bad, the Barca. And I think I'm thinking of adding, I can add it if I wanted to, but I'm thinking about adding like a little list about right here for these news shows where we'll have like running topics and the one that we're talking about will be highlighted. Do we like that? Give me a yes or a no in the chat, or a yes or a no in the comments, but maybe let me know specifically what you're talking about. Give me a yes or no. Would you like a list of topics right about here? Where it'll show you kind of what's coming up, what we're talking about currently. And then I'm also going to, I've already looked into this, so these changes are coming. My social media graphic right here, that's going to get wiped away. I'm going to have a what's it called? A little video stinger, as they say, that runs in the corner. And then we're going to have a bottom ticker showing some of the latest highlights. So Ayush says yes if the graphic is good. I appreciate that. Oh, he says, whoa, Discord is finally coming after 1 year of continuous demands from us guys. It's a win. We'll get there. We'll get there. Harry is on board, says we need a Discord and a Reddit, agreeing with Ayush there. Ahmed said you could use StreamYard to talk to us. Does that let me like take incoming calls? That is something that I thought would be fun, is if I could have like the Stash Squad hotline and you can call in and then people can hear your questions live. I'd have to figure out some way of monitoring that. But that would be fun. I do have it on a list somewhere to look into a hotline call. But we'll see. Harry's on board with the graphic. Barca, Mino is on board with the graphic. Okay. All right. That's a simple one for me to add in, actually. So we'll look into that. Love it, love it, love it. A few more pieces of news, though, before we wrap up today. I'm going to jump over and quote my good friend Pablo Wolves Blanco. Quick note before we quote Pablo. Pablo's on vacation. Pablo's out in Spain. Shout out to my good friend there. So we are delayed on getting back to the engine room. But me, Pablo, Buga, we will be back. We will be talking about all things in the world of football. Just a quick note on that. Anyway, Pablo shared earlier, yes, Xavi did not want Neymar back at Barcelona and stood in the way when the whole board pushed for his arrival. But I can tell you for free that this is not the reason he didn't join. PSG would never let Neymar leave on a cheap loan to Barca. Never mind release him to go for free. Gotta agree with that. For some reason, PSG love sticking it to Barcelona. They have no intention of playing fair, of collaborating, of doing what is in the best interest of players if it means that PSG lose out financially. They got no interest in going down that road. So shout out to Pablo. Well said. An interesting thought. Gotta agree with him on that one. And if you are not following Pablo W. Blanco on Twitter, you're messing up, folks. You're messing up. Number one up-and-coming journalist. Be number one by the 2026 World Cup. Guarantee it. Jumping over to Fabrizio Romano, current number one journalist. Pablo's hot on his heels, though. Says that he understands Barcelona are set to submit a formal bid for João Cancelo. Loan with option to buy. It's going to be on the table for Man City. Crucial days coming up to make it happen. Personal terms have already been agreed. Barcelona are going to use part of the Dembele money for Cancelo, as revealed 1 week ago. So I am excited for this one. I put out a tweet earlier asking who's going to be replaced in the back line. Obviously, it's not going to be Balde. I put Araujo on the list, but I don't think it's going to be Araujo by any means. That'd be silly. So who's it going to be? Christensen or Koundé? Who's going to lose out? A lot of you are saying Christensen. I think it's going to end up being Koundé. Because Koundé and Araujo both prefer the right center back position. Christensen is the one who prefers the left center back. So, just saying. I think it's going to be left back options of Balde and Alonso. Left center back options of Christensen and Martinez. Right center back options, Araujo, Koundé. Right back, João Cancelo. Backup would be either Koundé or Araujo, I guess, or Roberto, but not really. Gets a little sticky. Gets a little bit sticky. So I'm not saying Koundé couldn't play left center back, but he hasn't yet. He's only played in that right center back position for us. Just something to consider. Something to consider. And I'm surprised at the disrespect that Christensen has been getting. I'll say that. Harry says, congratulations to Pablo. He deserves that holiday to Spain. So happy Neymar hasn't come back. Best news of the week. I really think it would have destroyed any potential progress of Ansu and Abde. Really would have hurt their chances, dug into their playing time. Glad it didn't happen. Greg says, the fact that no other top European clubs properly came for Neymar tells you all you need to know. Amen to that. Ahmed says, João Cancelo is good, but I think Bernardo Silva is better. Well, sure. I mean, but you're not really comparing apples to apples there. I mean, very different players, very different ways to utilize their talents, we'll say. And I think of the two, while I would certainly welcome Bernardo Silva, his price tag is way higher than João Cancelo, who we can maybe get here on a loan. And I think we'll have a bigger impact for the club right now just because the right back position is a bigger need. Just saying. Harry says, I hope we sign one more right back. I want Fresneda or Maffeo. I actually really like Maffeo. Big fan of Maffeo. But Fresneda or Maffeo to come in, especially Fresneda as he's young and upcoming player who could be great for the future right back. Greg says, could switch back to a back five to get both Koundé and Araujo in the team. Yeah, but then who are you taking out of midfield or forwards? You know what I mean? We got options. It's a good problem to have. We got options. All right. With that out of the way, my friends, that does it for Barcelona's news. Again, one more time, if you want the latest and the greatest and the coolest merchandise for culés around the world, hop on over to barcamerch.com. Link is pinned in the chat, but if you're watching on replay, barcamerch.com, use the code STASHSQUAD10. 3 separate words, the number 10, STASHSQUAD10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off. We're going to be going live on Wednesday, a little match preview, getting it done early because I'm going out of town for the weekend, but I'll be back for the live versus Cadiz. So wake up in Barca on Wednesday, live on Sunday. Until then, go out there and do good things. I appreciate you. Lots of positive interactions. High fives and hugs for whoever wants them. I love you all very much. I appreciate you tuning in and taking a ride. We'll see y'all next time. Mwah.